Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. And if you remember, most of us, we got some bad advice when we first learned golf. And I bet you there's a lady here whose husband has recently tried to teach her golf, or in the last few years. But what was the first piece of advice you were given in golf?
What's the first piece of advice people get?
I just heard it right there from this nice lady.
Keep your head down.
Did your husband tell you that? Tell him he was wrong. So we were told to keep our head down was the first piece of advice. I can tell you that I've never heard a good teacher or player talk about keeping their head down, and we can even show you some video of a lot of the best players whose eyes aren't looking at the golf ball when they hit it. So you were taught to keep your head down, and then when you topped it, what was the next piece of advice you were told?
Swing slowly.
What about in the setup?
So if you keep your head down and you still top it, that means the club's coming too high. So what's the next advice someone tells you to do? Bend your knees.
All right, let's see. I'm going to get Luke set up the way you guys want to teach him. So first, Luke, get your head down. Very good. Very good. Now let's see if he can top. I feel scared for this gentleman.
I bend my knee. I bend my knee.
So now he's bent his knees, he's kept his head down. Does he look like he could hit a golf ball? All right, give it your best. Topping, by the way, is an art form for tour players.
Hard to do it.
Well practiced. All right, let's get you back in good posture. Head up, chest out, bend forward from the hips. I'm constantly taking Luke and I'm doing this, bending him this way. Knees back, tilted forward. You'll see his arms hang right below his shoulders. And this, for those of you, we hear the term swing plane a lot in golf, that my swing's on plane or it's off plane. I'm sure the members at Burr Hill here are very on plane. Is that correct? Yeah, sometimes. Well, swing plane has a lot to do with this tilt forward in your posture. If you were going to hit a golf ball teed up this high, how would you stand? Anyone? Stand upright. So if I put my spine vertically, I can swing horizontally. If I want to get that swing angled at the ground, I've got to take my upper torso and tilt it and point it at the ground with my chest out and my head up. So that's going to be our first lesson, is getting in good posture. And Luke, how often do you manage your posture and check it?
Every day.
Take them through how you get in good posture.
A little secret, obviously, most pros you'll see is they'll step with one arm to the ball, you know, 1 foot, and then take your thing, and then you just lean over the ball. A little test that I sometimes tell people when I'm giving them little lessons is you stand up straight, have your arms out front, you bend your knees so you can see about half your feet, assuming you don't have a nice belly.
It's a big assumption.
And then tip from the hips until the club hits the ground, and that gets you into a nice, good, solid posture.
That's great. And then one thing we'll see in good players' swings is he'll maintain that posture, especially for those of you with this view here. If you look at that spine angle he's created, he'll rotate around that spine angle and maintain that bend towards the ground the whole time. Now that's actually something you work on in your swing, isn't it?
Work on it a lot. As I went back to what I was saying about sitting that right shoulder down, a lot of the times I'm working on my swing where I get too much knee flex this way, makes my upper body tilt too much this way, and the club gets kind of laid off and behind me too much.
Sounds bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's obviously little things, but it's something I'm always constantly working on. The more I can keep in my posture, get my left shoulder underneath my chin, get nice and wide, it just makes the game much more simple, and I'm able to hit better shots.
Go ahead and get set up. So to give you an idea of what staying in your posture means, if I put this club on his shoulders and he takes a backswing, look at how much that club points down with his left shoulder lower than his right. And again, his spine has stayed bent over this and he's rotated around that axis.
Do you want to show if I can get out?
Sure.
Obviously, what I'm fighting against is doing this.
And this is what we see from most amateurs.
Quite a big difference.
I haven't been watching. Is he starting to hit better shots? Is he He's starting to look a little bit like the world number one.
I'll take me to that flag next time.